children, welcome to Easy Economics. In this class, I am explaining the concept that is classification of the markets. This topic belongs to 5th unit. Okay children, so now I am explaining the classification of the markets. And I will give the meaning of the market and will explain the classification of the markets. Children, we are having the unlimited wants. So to satisfy our wants, we are consuming the goods. So before consuming the goods, first the goods have to be produced. Okay children, first of all the goods have to be produced. Then only they are available to us for the consumption. So after the production, exchange is the essential thing. By paying the money, we are getting the goods. So after exchange only, it is possible to consume the goods. Okay children, before consumption, the goods have to be produced and also have to be exchanged. Then only they are available to us for our final consumption. Okay children, what is the exchange? Exchange means buying and selling the goods and services is called the exchange. So where it will take place? The buying and selling of the goods will take place in the market. So market is helpful to decide the prices of the goods and services. And market analysis is also called theory of value. Why? Because in the market, the value of the goods and services are decided. In this unit, we are going to study the meaning of the market and classification and regarding various types of the market structures. Okay, now I am explaining the meaning of the market. Children, in general language, market means a place where the goods and services are bought and sold. So that is in general meaning. This is the meaning of the market. So, but in the modern days, due to modern technology, the meaning of the market has undergone a tremendous changes. So why? Because nowadays the buyer and seller are not meeting together to buy and sell the goods. Generally, in general language, market means where the buyers and sellers meet together. That is fruit market, vegetable market, like that. But here bullion market, share market, these are the changes, somewhat changes we found. Why? Because of the modern technology, usage of modern technology and better transportation and communication facilities enabled us, without meeting the buyer and seller, we are getting the goods to our doorsteps. For example, by using your smartphone or by using your personal computer. So you are with the help of the internet facility, you are placing the orders for the goods belongs to distance places, and you are getting the goods to your doorsteps. So it means, in economic sense, market is not restricted to a particular place. So the activities, wherever the activities of buying and selling are taking place, entire area is regarded as a market. So it means the entire globe is regarded as a market nowadays. Okay, Edwards also defined that market is a mechanism which brought the buyers and sellers together. They are not meeting directly, but with the help of the modern transportation and communication facilities, the buying and selling are going on nowadays without meeting the buyer and seller together into a particular place. So the activities are going on. So that is the reason, in economic sense, market means it is not restricted to a particular place. Okay, the entire area, wherever the buying and selling are taking place, the entire area is regarded as the market. Okay, now markets are classified into so many types based on 3 elements mainly. Markets are divided into so many types. Based on time and based on area and based on competition, markets are divided into so many types. Based on time, the markets are classified into very short period and long period. So based on time, the classification is made by Alfred Marshall. The credit goes to Marshall. Okay, he classified the markets into three types based upon the time period. Children, here time period means the time period doesn't depends upon the calendar time. Okay, you have to remember that point. So first one, very short period. So it is also called market period. The other name of the very short period also called market period. Okay guys. So here what is called the very short period? I think in the fourth unit you studied about the short run and long run. So in the short run, whenever we are studying about the production aspect, in the short run, factors of production are classified into two types, divided into two types. In the short run, factors are divided into two types, short period or short run. They are fixed factors and variable factors. Fixed factors and variable factors. Okay, children, fixed factors and variable factors. So what are called the fixed factors? Fixed factors in machinery, building, equipment, tools and the organizer are the fixed factors. And variable factors means raw material and the daily wage labor force. These are examples to variable factors. So here in the short period, there is short period in economic sense. Short period means there is no possibility to alter the fixed factors of the production. Only by changing the variable factors, the producer will increase the output. That is called the short period. Okay, children, short period means to study about the very short period, first we have to know that is the division of classification of the factors in the short period. Then only it is possible to study about the very short period. Okay, in the short period, factors are divided into two types, fixed and variable. So short period in economic sense means fixed factors can't be altered. Only by altering the variable factors, the producer will increase the output. Okay guys, so very short period. In the very short period or market period, even variable factors also can't be altered. So there is no possibility to change even variable factors also. Okay, there is no possibility to increase the output in the very short period. Okay, perishable goods like vegetables, fruits, milk, like that, they are having the very short period market. For example, children, think that I am a farmer. So today in the vegetable market, I am cultivating tomato crop in my field. So today in the market, tomatoes are price is very high, kg 80 rupees. So today itself it is possible to me to increase the tomato crop. Is it possible to me? So highly impossible. So it means I am not saying that very short period belongs to one day, but very short period means there is no possibility to alter the, that is even variable factors also to increase the output. So the factors of production are constant, all the factors, and there is no possibility to increase the output in the very short period. Okay, in the very short period, when demand is more, price also will be more to the products. Okay, very short period price is very high, and it is also called market period, and the price prevails in this period is called the market price also. And next to short period. In the short period, fixed factors, that is machinery, tools, equipment, building can't be altered, but by changing the variable factors, labor and raw material, there is a possibility to the producer to increase the output. So let me explain the short period with the help of the example. So tomato crop. Okay. So today tomatoes are having high price in the market. Okay. So then what I will do to increase the output of tomatoes? I will use more pesticides, more chemicals and more water to increase somewhat a little bit of tomato crop. But in the short period, it is not possible to me to plant the new trees. Okay, it is not possible to me. But by using the existing plant trees, by using more chemicals and more water, somewhat it is possible to me to increase a little bit of output. Okay guys, so in this very short period, only by changing the variable factors, the producer will increase output, that is not in a high quantity. A little bit of increase in the output can be possible in the short period by changing the variable factors of the production. Okay guys, the short period price is somewhat less than the very short period price. And long period. Long period means, in economic sense, long period means all the factors are variable. There is no classification of fixed and variable factors. All factors are variable. So it is possible to the producer to construct a new building and to purchase a new machinery, to fix new equipment and plant, to increase the output. So all are possible in the long run. Based upon the demand situations, the producer will increase output. If demand is more for the commodity, automatically the producer will increase all the factors of production and he will increase the output. Okay children, so long run, based upon the demand conditions, the seller is able to supply more and more goods into the market. Okay guys, I think it is clear to all the children. That is based upon the time. Markets are classified into very short period and long period. And children, long period the price is lower than the very short period and short period price. So long period price is called the normal price. And next one, based upon the area, markets are classified into three types: local, national and international markets. So what is the local market? Local market means when the produced good in a locality, if the good is produced, that is sold in the same locality, that is called the local market. So here for the local market, we are able to give the examples, that is perishable goods. Okay, perishable goods means which will perish with the short period of time. Example, nothing but vegetables, fruits, these are all the examples to the perishable goods. Okay, so well, to the local market, perishable goods are the examples. When a commodity is sold in the its produced area, then it is called the local market. Mostly vegetables and fruits, once upon a time, not now, they are sold in the produced area only. So that is the reason perishable goods are the examples to the local market. But children, nowadays, with the help of the modern technology, even perishable goods also we are able to export to the foreign countries. Okay, India is the best example. We are exporting fruits, vegetables, milk and meat, milk products to the foreign countries with the help of the cold storage facilities. So that is the reason, children, now there are no examples to the local market. Why? Because all the perishable goods also having the international market nowadays. But bulky articles like bricks don't have the, that is the international market. Means bulky goods like bricks, transporting to the distance places is not economical. So that is the reason bulky goods like bricks are having the local market. Yes. Next, national market. If a commodity is supplied and demanded throughout the, that is the political boundaries, within the political boundaries of the country, that is in our India. Okay, in all the states in our India, if a commodity is supplied and demanded, then that is called the national market. Okay, examples are all the goods. Now all the goods, perishables, semi-durables like clothes, and durables like TV, fridge, like that. All types of goods are having the national market. So in the textbook they are given the example, that is rice, wheat, etc. But all goods, even perishables, also having the national market. Okay children. Next, international market. International market, when a commodity is supplied and demanded throughout all the countries in the world, so it is said that the commodity is having the international market. Examples are gold, okay children, gold, silver, petrol, all are the examples to the international market. But children, nowadays, not only these three goods are example to the international market. Why? Because already I told you, with the help of the modern technology, even perishables also having the international market. Okay, so nowadays all the goods except the bulky articles like bricks, most of the goods are having the international market. Okay guys, so improved technology enabled the countries to export the perishable goods to the distant places also. Okay guys, Next one, based on the competition. Okay, the markets are classified into mainly two types. So competition among the sellers. Okay, based on the competition among the sellers, markets are mainly classified into two types: perfect competition and imperfect competition. Again, imperfect competition is classified into monopoly, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, and duopoly. Okay, first one, what is the perfect competition? Perfect competition is a market we can find the large number of buyers and sellers. In this market, we can find large number of buyers and sellers, and they are dealing with the homogeneous good. Means all the sellers, all the firms will produce the identical good. Means in color, size, shape, and packing, in quantity, in quality, in all the manners, the good will be the same. Okay, so all the firms or all the sellers are producing the homogeneous good or identical good, and whenever all the firms are producing the identical good, then same price prevails throughout the market. Okay, here all the sellers are competing with each other by producing the same good at the same price, selling at the same price. So that is the reason competition is perfect. There is no rivalry among the firms, and there are no artificial restrictions in the market. Okay, either government or the seller or the buyer, no one will put the restrictions. Okay, there is no rivalry among the sellers also. Why? Because all are producing the same good and the same price prevails for the good. All are selling the, that is willing quantity at the same price only. Okay guys, so competition is perfect, healthy competition. At the same price they are competing with each other, and there is no rivalry among the sellers or firms. Okay guys, now imperfect competition. So here imperfect competition means competition is not perfect. Why? Because the same type of commodity is sold at different prices. To the same good, the producers or the sellers will charge the different prices. So competition is not healthy. So hence it is called the imperfect competition. Imperfect competition. So it is classified into four types. First one, monopoly. Monopoly means a single seller is selling the good but large number of buyers. Okay, the commodity which is produced by the monopoly seller is not having any substitutes. Okay guys, only one firm will sell the goods. Once upon a time, Indian Railways are the example to monopoly, public monopoly. But now our government is inviting private people to invest in the railways. Okay, so somewhat monopoly means a single seller is producing the good which is not having close substitute. Means that type of commodity is not produced by anybody else, but the buyers are in large number. Okay children, next in the next classes we will discuss about the monopoly and other types of markets. Okay, now I am only giving a little bit of examples. And monopolistic competition. Here considerable number of sellers and large number of buyers. They are producing the commodity, so means they are producing the differentiated good. For example, bath soaps, we are using the bath soaps. There are of 30 to 40 varieties are there. The bath soaps all are meant for the same purpose, but due to the brand name, raw material, different raw material used, that is the reason they are called the differentiated products. For example, Santoor is different, Rexona different, and that is Pierce is a different soap, Mysore Sandal is a different one. All are meant for same purpose, but due to the brand name, due to the difference in raw material used, they are considered as the differentiated goods. Okay, this is example to the monopolistic competition. And oligopoly, a few number of sellers and large number of buyers will exist in the oligopoly market. Automobile industry is the best example to the oligopoly. Sometimes they will produce the same good, sometimes they will produce the differentiated goods. Depends upon the sellers. Duopoly means only the two sellers in the market. Two sellers but large number of buyers, and the two sellers are selling homogeneous good or differentiated good, depends upon them. So this is the classification of the markets. In next class I will explain about the price determination in perfect competition. It is a 10 marks question. Children, it is also, this question also asked for 10 marks and also 5 marks also in the final examination, and that is different types of markets are asked for the 2 marks also. So very important topic. Children, if you like this video, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you for watching.